That feels like something's dragging to me. Maybe tire dragging. Oh, that's rubber.
See you guys in a few days. Come on, Doc. All right, so when you get one of these second gen Dodge fiberglass front ends from Bodz, first thing to do, obviously take it out of the box, make sure there's no cracks, make sure everything, you know, through shipping made it properly. Second thing I would do is lay all the parts out, make sure you got everything. Third thing I would do is make sure that you got yourself a 2000 Dodge Ram. I ordered a 1500 Sport grill, okay? The Sport grill, make sure you got that. It has a little curve on the bottom of it, has a little bit of contour to the grill. Make sure you got that one or it's not gonna work properly, okay? I got mine at AutoZone, they're like 100 bucks. I would put it up on some jack stands like we have now, and we got Joe laying underneath the truck. I'd put it on some jack stands, and you need to pre-drill all your holes for the grill. And there's alignment marks on the hood that you can reference. They're not going to be 100% like exactly where you need to drill, but you know they're there. So you drill into your hood for all the alignment, for all the bolts for your grill. I think there's like 6 or 8 of them. Then you put the grill on, make sure your corners line up. You might have to wallow out the hole a little bit to be able to slide the grill one way or another to make sure it all lines up properly. But that's like step 2. So get the grill put on the truck. I mean, put on the fender hood front cover. That's step 2. That's what we're working on currently. Is there any techniques, Joe, to getting that grill on there or something to look out for?
Not really that I can think of. Just these grills are sometimes, like this one's being a bit of a pain in the butt. But no, it's just getting the grill fitting good, so
all right,
taking the time.
So take your time, get the grill fitted right, make sure it's not off on one side, make sure your corners are, you know, properly aligned, make sure it's properly aligned with the top of the hood here and on the sides here. Yeah, that's step 2. Probably takes you about a half hour, 45 minutes to do that, to make sure it's done right. You know, make sure you just don't get in a hurry with this stuff, you know. We want to make sure it lasts. We want to make sure your truck will look good. What are you doing there, Joe?
I'm hollowing this out.
Yeah? And what did we learn today, Joe?
We do not want to use nylock nuts.
It's better to use a nut with the lock washer, isn't it?
Yes, this is the first grill I've ever used nylock nuts, and it does not work very good with these grills. You cannot back them out.
All right. How long you been working on this project, Joe?
A very long time.
Fuck deal, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah, once you put them on, it does not allow you to take them back off. It sucks. But we're getting it. Is that on?
Yep.
We want to line the bumper up to where this is perfectly even on both sides right here. And then we're going to clamp this to where everything is the same on each side right this way, and to where this is right even right through here. And then we'll clamp this right through there.
Okay, so you want the fender well even and the front fender part right here even.
Yes.
So this needs to be even and this part needs to be
this should be the same as the other side. If
Okay.
it's sticking out just a little bit on this side, it should be sticking out just a little bit on the other side.
Okay. All right, so now you are aligning the bumper and clamping it into place so you can pre-drill a hole.
Yeah, so I can start drilling holes and fastening the two parts together.
Okay.
And then once we have that done, we can mount it on the truck.
Perfect. So he's aligning that side, and then he's gonna align this side over here.
Walk around from behind and you can show inside.
Oh, this is a great view. Okay. All right.
And you can see the clamps on the other side.
Okay. What's up, dog? Okay, back up. Get out of here. Not your doghouse.
Well, a lot of people call it the dog house.
Now, would you recommend using nylon nuts for that?
We'll get to that here in just a little bit. I'll show you what to do.
All right. So that's what we struggled with, or Joe struggled with, because I use nylon nuts instead of using just lock nuts, lock washers.
See, what happened is when we had to back this back off to try and loosen it,
Yeah.
the whole stud wanted to back out of the plastic that is underneath right there.
Okay.
On the grill itself. And the whole thing wanted to just sit there and spin on me then. And I had to try and get some vice grips to lock onto that so I could get the nut off, and it was a nightmare.
Yeah, we won't do that again. Now, do you, and I'm probably jumping ahead of the ball game, but do you fasten the grill?
Yes, what we're going to do,
okay,
I'll tell you ahead of time, and then we're going to do it, and then you can see a picture of it afterwards.
All right.
What we're going to do is we're going to drill holes through this grill, probably about that far apart from each other.
Okay.
And it's going to go right through the bumper to the grill, and it's going to bolt that there, and then we're going to come over here, and we're going to drill right through here, and we're going to bolt this together on both sides.
Okay.
And then when we're all done, we're going to take two pieces of steel, we're going to bolt them together, and then we're going to weld one side of that to here, one side to here. And the reason it's bolted together in the middle is so in the future, if you need to remove the bumper from the hood, you can.
Okay.
But what that does is if for some reason this grill breaks, you don't have a situation where the hood goes flying up and you end up running over your bumper. It still holds everything together.
Right. Okay.
So we'll do that, and you'll get a video of that. You'll be able to see how that all fits.
Awesome. All right, you want to explain what you're shipping out there?
What I'm doing is the grill, to keep the grill line straight, because normally it has a seal in between here, and all I do is I use like the black foam that you use in the houses. Just put that in behind there after we're all done with this. But for right now, all I do is I'll take a door shim, and I can shove it till this looks exactly even. And what I want is I want this line across here to look exactly even to this body line all the way across. Okay. So when I'm looking down like at this angle, I want that looking the same all the way across. So I'm going to shove them shims in there until that looks perfect, going all the way across there. That's what we want.
So we're looking at it from down here, and we want this to look straight.
Yeah, we want this to look straight all the way across there. We want this body line from here to here looking exactly the same. I got to pull a little bit out of the other side. It's either that, or what I think I need to do is slide this bumper ahead just a little bit. All right.
That looks pretty close.
Because the best way to align this is to get right in the center and then just swivel your head. You can look at both sides. Because if you're looking at it from one side, you're not looking at it even. If you look at it from the center and then look at each way, you're looking at each side evenly. And that's a better way of judging.
And we're doing this because we're going to go on the other side and bolt the grill to the bumper.
Yeah, then we're going to go to the other side, we're going to drill holes, and we're going to bolt that down too.
Got it. Just want to explain to the viewers why we are lining it up.
Yeah,
like
this
that.
is just holding it until we can bolt it down, and then we'll pull them shims back out. Yeah, that's looking pretty good.
Yeah, that looks...
Stand right in the middle right here and take a look at it.
Yeah, that looks... If I wanted perfection, I'd have to get a measuring tape out, but by the crooked of my eye, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, well, that's usually what I do is I'll eyeball it, and I'll just use the body lines, and it'll get pretty darn close. And then I'll also look, and those are usually be pretty close to parallel, the gaps.
The gaps in between the grill and the fender.
Which we'll fill with foam later.
Right. And you want to make sure, if you're adjusting that, you want to make sure this stuff, the fender and the bumper stay even. Yes. On both sides. You don't want to over adjust it. You know, you want to make sure this stuff stays even also. So.
Yes. Okay, you tell me when.
Go ahead.
All right. I just wanted to show you this. We're going to be drilling through, and I want to show you this underneath here. We are going to be drilling through this into there, but we got to drill from the bottom side, and there's no way of knowing where the grill is and we don't want to accidentally drill through the outside show area. So I'm going to show you, because we can't drill from the top side down, right. So I'm going to show you an easy way to know exactly where you can drill.
Okay.
Okay. This light, the dark area, is the grill blocking the light. So the dark area with the light on the outside here on top of the bumper, the dark area is the safe area to drill.
Okay.
So now we can drill our hole through the bumper into the grill in the dark area, and we know we're safe, that we're not going to drill out into the area that's the show area.
Okay.
Okay, now can you come out and I'll show you these washers.
All right. Now the washers.
Okay, when we bolt everything together,
yep,
we are going to use 1/4-inch bolts, just little short 1/4-inch bolts, the nut, lock washer, but I don't want you using a 1/4-inch washer. I don't want you using the 5/16" washer. I want you to use a 1/4-inch. It's called a Fender Washer. It's a lot larger diameter, and it's still got the small hole in it though. What that's going to allow it to do is sandwich both the fiberglass and the plastic part of the grill to where you got better clamping power.
Okay. Now my question would be, do you want us to use 2 washers per?
Yeah, 1 washer on each side.
Right.
And then use a lock on the nut side.
Yep.
And I don't care which way you run the bolt through, it's really not going to matter.
Is there an easier to bolt down, bolt up? Like,
well, I don't know, we'll see which way I go.
I guess we'll film it and we'll figure out which way is best.
Yeah.
So, perfect. Use fender washers. Don't use these ones. Go ahead.
All right, what we're going to do is I used to make a support right here, so we tied the two pieces together. That way if the grill blew out, we still had a connector between the bumper and the hood. And I also used to bolt between here to hold the fender to the bumper. But the way that I just done it my first time on his front end is I put this connector in here like this and welded it, and I made it so it'll unbolt right here, and it's worked out really well. Come over to this other side over here. We've already done it, we've got our connector that holds the top to the bottom, and it's supporting the side. We don't have to screw around with the bolts. Just made everything easier. It's stronger. I just like that a lot better. So there's a million ways to do everything, so you can pick and choose if you don't want to do it that way, but I like this way, so that's my recommendation. But that's the way we're going to do it for now on.
Go ahead, Joe. Tell them what happened.
This is what we're running into. If you notice this whole pattern here, these are stacked on top of each other with one behind there. If you look at mine, it has one here staggered with two straight in line with each other on the bottom. That's not going to match. Most everything that I run into is like this. I had one customer call me and say that this isn't going to work, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Everything's the same. I've got another truck out there, and we'll show you a picture of that to where everything does line up. In this situation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a template to where when you have this situation where you can make this modification. But what we're going to do is we're going to use the plasma. We're going to cut this little section out so that this can slide into the frame, and we'll get the right dimensions where it needs to go, and that'll be to follow. Let's go outside real quick and show them the others. See, this is how it should line up. It should just slide right in there. This bolt, and this one right underneath here, all three will go right into place. And this is the way most of the frames are that I've run into. And the bracket is made so it just lines right up with everything perfectly. But that one in there has a hole here, and then one straight behind it. So we're going to make a template to where we can adapt. You ready?
Yep.
Yeah, let me get something to knock that out. I need to get something to grab it with. But you want to grab it? All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get the back side of the tilt brackets on here. Starting with the bottom side here. First thing you need to do, once you take these bolts out, you got to weld, or you got to grind the one side of the washer a little bit flat. You can see where I done that. That way, because that's a little bit close there.
Bring that a little bit closer. There we go. See how he grinded half the washer off?
Yeah, you just gotta do that just so it clears the bracket. The reason the bracket is all set like that is because when that front end tilts, that little bit of extra clearance clears the bracket that way. And that's the reason I didn't center it to where you can keep the full washer. I needed that little bit of extra clearance. But what you'll do is you'll then bolt this on right on top of your hinge on both sides. All right, when you got that, there's the bottom bracket. Got a little cotter pin right there. And then this will get welded to the front end. And then we're gonna put the top bracket on.
Now, a question for you. On that bottom bracket, you see how you have a notch on the top? Does a notch have to be on the top or the bottom?
The notch should be on the top. What that is for is so that when you grab this pin, you can actually get a hold of it.
Okay.
Because if this was the other way around and this is down there, it's harder to get a hold of that pin like that.
Okay.
And so that's the reason. And then also I have this with a taper here. That way whenever this front end slides back, if it's just a little bit off in alignment, it brings it into alignment. There's a taper here and there's a taper on the back side there. So you want them to align. And that way that goes together. This bracket is also the same way. There's a taper here and there's a taper on the back side. That way when this will land on here and it makes it easy where it'll slide on real fast and easy. No matter how far in, if it doesn't quite line up right, a little bit off, it'll pull it into place. So all we're gonna do on the top side is we're gonna pull these bolts out. I already had them loosened up. We got the bolt in right here, so we didn't lose our door alignment. Oh, that is one thing, since I spoke about it. Make sure before you do this that your door is in proper alignment, because if you put the front end on with crooked doors, you'll never be able to have an aligning front end with any doors that are aligning right. So, and that's how simple it is to put your brackets on. Done. And then this will weld to the front structure.
Fair enough.
Here's something be right under for you, Will. This will not have a fast one. All right.
Definitely need to go that way.
No, don't worry about nothing right now yet.
Oh, sorry. Now what are you duct taping over here?
This is just to temporarily hold it back to the door.
Okay.
We're gonna let that front end down then, and then we're gonna start aligning, doing our rough alignment. Okay, go ahead and let that jack down real slow. Here, hold on. Let me get over here and line it up. Let it down more. Keep going. Well, a little bit yet.
Nope, it's stuck.
Okay. All right, hold on. Just a fuzz, barely. Down.
Down?
Down. Is it hitting something? Okay, stop on that, lock it. All right, don't worry, we're not gonna worry about that. Now come to this side. Let this side down a little bit. Now that one don't work very good, so you gotta be careful. Getting close. More? A little bit. All right. Go just a fuzz down.
Down?
Just fair. Okay. I think that's good. Tighten it up.
Yep.
All right, now see. Oh, that's not even resting. Look at that. Resting.
Party to do heavens and hell in your country now, 100.5.
Oh, it is.
Dave, thanks for listening today. Coming up on Monday, the Memorial Day Parade is on here.
All right, now.
Spend some time throughout the weekend. I know it's a 3-day weekend, and it's sort of the kickoff of summertime, and school's getting out, pools are opening.
All right, we're to the next stage. We're going to put the bottom brackets on. What I've done it already. You're going to start with a bracket just like this. That's welded on there. I got the wrong side, but you can see what I'm talking about. But the bracket is on there. This piece was on there, but you can also see that it's a lot longer than that. What I have done is I've put that bracket in there and measured how long it needed to be, and seen where I needed to cut it off. But then also this bracket here, I'm going to show you on this one. This will need to be able to lay completely flat. And what you're going to do is you're going to put this clamp on there, and you're going to clamp that so it stays completely flat when you're welding. Because, and you're going to leave this clamp on there until the entire process is done. Because you want this to stay completely flat there. You do not want it to start going like that, because you won't be able to get your pins in when the front end's done. So what this will do, what we've got is this will lay completely flat. We'll clamp that just like we said. Put a clamp on there here right now. I like these little tiny clamps for this because they fit into a tight area like this real nice. If I can find a spot that I can get it. Okay, get it leveled out, and then from there you're going to line this up to your so that your fender is lined up. You're going to hold that just so you got a perfect line there. You're going to make sure your gap is where you need it, and then you're gonna tack it on the top and on the bottom. And then this bracket is tacked into place. Leave this clamp. Then you're gonna go to the other side and you're gonna do the exact same thing. Then after you do both of the bottoms, then we'll move up to the top. Always make sure that your line looks fairly straight all the way down. It won't be a perfect line, but make sure that your gap on the top side and the bottom side are fairly even. It'll usually be a little bit too tight in the middle, and that's fine. We will take care of that afterwards by sanding the excess of the fiberglass away. I'll show you that later. That should be good. Yeah, serious? Well, I guess I'm doing the other side right now.
Memorial Day savings here now, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Click HomeDepot.com or download the Home Depot app while supplies last.
Are you one of the millions of Americans who experience occasional bloating, gas, or abdominal discomfort? And see how healthy your gut can feel. A look at
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Your car has never been worth more than right now. Get to the trade, buy them, and Matthew's Honda will carry it. Matthew's Honda wants to buy your car. And if you don't buy from us, any year, any make, any condition, even if you still own the car.
Okay, we got the front end all tacked in place. Everything is not completed, but it's all tacked in place. One important thing, we still got the little brackets that hold everything tight inside here. You can see this bottom one down here, and the top one's also underneath there. On the other side, all the brackets are still holding everything tight. Very important that you leave everything. And then we got the front underneath there all tacked into place. I'll grab a light. If you can see right down here, we just tacked that bracket in place. It's a little bit rough right now, but I was crawling underneath there. It was a tight area, but we got it tacked in place. So we got a working, tilting, removable front end at this point. And so now we can remove the brackets, everything that's holding it in place. So go ahead.
Let me take this over there.
You could point at the tack because the light is shining away. Okay. Yeah, right in there. You can see the tacks that we've made onto the little bracket that slid into the frame bracket right there. All right, now we're going to drop this front end. We don't need this anymore because it can support itself. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of this jack. We can get rid of these clamps. There's a clamp. We still got to finish up the fine tuning of the gap. That we'll do a little bit later after we're done welding this. We'll remove these clamps. Okay, now we have a front end that's sitting on the truck. All we got to do, don't want to lift, just slide it forward. Just slide it a little bit, it's in the hooks. Now to tilt it,
And you know when it's in the hooks as
yeah, you can feel it. All you've got to do is just bring it up, and you've got your tilt right there. And then when we want to remove it, bring it back down. Okay. Come down. We still got to do a little bit of trimming. Pull out on that. When we want to remove it, just lift up. Come up here. Back. Lift up. Forward. Oh. Move it. Yeah. And we got the front end off.
for the money that he's charging for these front ends, I will tell you guys what, there is a lot of labor that goes into these, and a lot of labor that I know he's not charging for, and you're getting a hell of a deal. But here's the front end from the outside.
Oh, sorry.
You're all right.